taxonomy is basically how the animals are broken down into different categories and families, and how animals are named. But you have 7 main stages of taxonomy, or names, that the animals go through. So you have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Yeah, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. That's it. Going way back in the memory now, trying to remember all of that. So trying to think now. I always get these. I mean, it like kingdom will be, for example, Animalia. So it'll go down Animalia, Mammalia, Felidae, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus. I can't remember the exact terms now because it's quite confusing, but I think it'll start off with Mammalia, so mammals, or Animalia, animals, Mammalia, mammals, and you work your way down. Eventually you'll get Felidae. So Felidae is actually the family, so family, Felidae, for example, for cats. Then family, genus, so let's say Panthera, so of the big cats, and then and Panthera leo, so lion. So it'll be Felidae, Panthera, leo. So family is cats, the genus Panthera, and then the species will be leo, which is the lion. Sure, it's a lot of scientific words this early in the morning. You might see the smoke actually coming out of my ears. Alright, so it sounds like Ali has moved out of the depths of the bush she was hiding in where she had the gremlins. Let's go and see if she's had any luck with those elephants.
We're still in the depth of the Molowati, but not too far from the main road, so probably gremlin free area. Sometimes the gremlins don't like the main road, which is a good thing. But not too much here. I just want to get a hold on the radio because I can't hear the guys properly. Sorry, Ralph, whereabouts is that luck? Ah, another steenbok. Hello. Oh, this is more common now. I don't know if you saw it in the corner of our screen, but then it ran away. That is more normal for steenboks. That is pretty much what they do. Unlike the other super friendly one we had this morning. Now I think we also found earlier on where the elephants that we were looking at were digging for water. So maybe that's why they didn't go all the way to Gari Dam. And why the female just decided to take a bit of a turnaround and run away from that male. But I think I need a bit of height. So let's, I'm gonna go up here, go back to Twin Dams where I tried to listen to one particular update on the radio that I can't really hear. If Wendy turns. Come on, Wendy! I'm sure we'll be able to turn here. Go! Sorry guys, Ralph. Ralph, morning. Sorry, my radio's not working properly. What's your update? Ralph, you copy? Sorry, Ralph, what's your update there? Sorry, confirm Gary Main? God, yeah. Ralph, can I grab a standby? Okay, copy, thanks. Okay, copy, thanks. I'm on baboon pan, so I'm gonna come up Cheetah cut line now. Thank you. Alright, seems like one of the other vehicles bumped into good old friend Hosana. So we're gonna see if maybe we can have a look at him, because he is on the cut line between Torchwood and I'm not too sure who else. So we're gonna go quickly, see if perhaps we can have a look at the prince before he goes somewhere where he's not supposed to go, where we can't see him. It's just to hear around here because the radio is breaking up a little bit. But fingers crossed, because apparently he's coming in this direction. So let's see. Hopefully we'll get lucky, guys. Alright. Sorry guys, the radio is... I can't even hear the... I can't even... I wonder what is...
Oh, sorry. Well, it sounds like Addie's racing away to get to a leopard. It sounds like it's possibly young Hosana. And then I just got an update that they've got, it sounds like three leopards just on Torchwood. Unfortunately, it sounds like Tingana and I don't know if it was Shadow and her youngster, or if it was Tandy and a youngster. I'm not sure. I don't know, but it sounded like there are 3 leopards in that area just on Torchwood. They've just managed to find them now. Sure, so there's it sounds like there's a lot going on that side. I'm actually going to head into that area, even though we aren't able to go into Torchwood. We'll just go have a look. But it sounds like James has found some ostriches. Now I know the girls were looking for ostrich around here. He's got them tomorrow.
Those things are going to cross at a crossing that we do not have a camera at. Look at these ostrich. They are... Oh, we're live. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I seem to have made a mistake with my my communication device. All I heard was live, but I don't know where it came from. I hope you're all still very well. I will sort that out immediately. So there we have some ostrich. They're the ones with the feathers. And some wildebeest in the foreground. They are the ones that do not have feathers but horns. You will notice that they are completely distinct from each other and indeed fall into a completely different class of vertebrate. I'm being very facetious now. That is the big male ostrich. He's very pink around the neck and thighs, which means that he's probably quite excited by the ladies that he's around. Now, although there are some wildebeest here, and you can sort of see that there's a relatively large number, I'm going to ask David to swing his camera off towards the right-hand side. And there you will see a very, very large grouping of wildebeest, and they are below what we call the picnic crossing, between there and what is also known as the BBC crossing. Not sure why. Neither of which we have cameras at, but I'm pretty sure that these things are thinking about going across the river. That dip that you can see there is the Mara River. And so you can see that the wildebeest herds are a lot further up north than they were at this time last year. Now, Angelana, you're wondering if wildebeest and zebra migrate together. Well, they do to a certain extent. Normally what happens is that the zebra move in front of the wildebeest. They eat slightly longer grass, which means that they basically clear the longer stuff, and then the wildebeest come after that, and then the Thompson's gazelle come after that. It's not always like that, though, and yes, you will find them in amongst each other from time to time, but in general, you will find that the wildebeest come up after the zebra. Isn't that just a wonderful sound there? Bah, bah, bow. Oh, bow. Sounds just a little bit like the Wild Earth crew before a meal when we're in the kitchen. Hello, Lara. You want to know how tall male ostriches are? Well, they're taller than me, certainly, which is not very tall, of course. But they probably stand at about 2.2, sometimes 2.5 meters for a really big one, which in feet is pushing 8 feet, I guess. I'm just going to check this exactly for you, though, because I don't wish to tell you a lie. It would be very unfortunate for me to lie to you at this stage of the game. I'm just looking under O for ostrich, not G for goshawk. They don't even have ostrich. That's very strange. Here we go. There we go. Common ostrich. Yeah. No, male, only up to 2 meters or so, which is just that's just over 7 feet. Just under 7 feet, actually. I don't believe that's true. I have definitely been with an ostrich that is taller than that. I know people who are 2 meters tall, and I know ostriches taller than those people. So I think probably just above 2 meters, just over 7 feet. James, you say to ostrich avoid crossing the rivers. I imagine that they avoid it like, probably like you would avoid eating, like I avoid eating coriander. Not swimmers, as far as I know. I've never seen an ostrich go anywhere near the water. The question is, why would they cross the river? They feed on forbs, and there's a great deal of sort of herbaceous forb material and seeds and probably quite a few insects in this area that they're able to eat, and a fairly sparse population. So the need for them to cover ground and cross the river to different areas, I think, is very limited indeed. And so I think that they would avoid crossing the river unless they were utterly desperate. And I'm not sure that you could convince an ostrich that it was desperate enough to try and swim a river. It'd be quite funny to watch, though, wouldn't it? Let's just shift you a little bit forward and see if we can't get a slightly better view of how big the wildebeest herd that we can hear is. We can't hear the ones down on the river there. Move down into this area. I'm afraid I've missed the name there, Lou. Mia, you want to know what the top speed of an ostrich is? I've read 70 kilometers an hour, which is around about, shall we say, 45 miles an hour. Whether that has actually been conclusively proved or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've read certainly about 70 kilometers an hour. just going to quickly go past these people who are staring rather slack-jawed at us for some reason. I'm not sure why that should be the case. Yeah, this is actually in quite a nice position here. There we go. That's all right, David. Shall I swing? Let me just go right hand down slightly and give you a bit of view. There we are. It is amazing to me how people love to watch people. It happens here, it happens in Sabi sands, it happens absolutely everywhere. They will take their eyes off all of the action in order to watch which human beings are going past them. There's some rutting Impala in there as well. I can hear them shouting at each other. That's wonderful. Isn't that a great collection of animals? Oh, look at the ostriches up. Hello, Michelle. You're 14 years old and you're in Johannesburg, and I can only assume that you're therefore on your school holidays, which must be a profound relief to you, especially as winter in Johannesburg is not something that is necessarily very pleasant. Michelle, you want to know if ostriches wave their wings in order to impress the ladies. They do indeed wave their wings to impress the ladies. Now, Michelle, what you will notice as you get into your teen years, of course, is that boys are roughly the same. They don't have wings to wave, but they'll do things like wave their muscles and tell tall stories, and it is in very much the same vein that they do that. So it's just to show off a bit and see if they can't convince the ladies that they're worthwhile. David, can you see that wildebeest standing on a termite mound? He's got himself on a perch. He's just to the left of this lot. He just looks rather comedic. I mean, the sound is just wonderful. I love it. Some Grant's gazelles off to the right after that. Alrighty, we'll just quickly have a look at the Grant's gazelles and then head across to Baron, who has managed to find himself. I'm not going to use the most common link used for this animal. I'm going to say he's found an egg and scorpion eater.
Well, sometimes I think I've never seen the little dwarf mongoose eating scorpions, but look at the little family of dwarf mongoose over here. Now they do eat insects, and I do think they would probably catch scorpions, but I've seen them catching grasshoppers and other insects. Smallest of the mongoose species, and they have just come out of the termite mound. I'm assuming this is their home, and they're sunning themselves, warming up in the winter sun. They really, really are so cute. It's amazing how these mongoose species, the diurnal ones at least, all like to come out and bask in the sun to warm up. Now the other, I suppose, mongoose species, the meerkats. Now we don't have meerkats in this part of South Africa, however we do have them around in different parts of South Africa, and in Botswana and Namibia. They prefer semi-arid to dry areas, and those meerkats, they they also come out early in the mornings. They stand, and they actually have darker stomachs or underbellies, and they'll stand up in the sun and face the sun to warm up. So much like these dwarf mongoose, luckily these dwarf mongoose are a bit darker, so they'll probably warm up a bit quicker. Look at that, that's a beautiful view of that one. Very cute, very inquisitive. Snazzy, this hill that you referred to it's actually a termite mound, Snazzy. You see that? Now, well, it is natural. It's made of natural soil, but it's been built by termites. Those mongoose have just disappeared now. It's built by termites. I just want to jump out quickly because there's something that's hitching a ride with us, and I'll explain, Snazzy, more about the termites to you. But basically that little mound has just been made by termites. They've built this entire mound using the soil that they excavate from the ground below, their feces and their saliva. Those termites build this substance which they then use to build the mound, and it gets very, very hot. And those mongoose aren't too skittish. They're still there. They're still just on the termite mound behind me. But there's something else here that I've spotted that I'm going to try and get for you.
Okay, then. You need to come back to the vehicle.
Is it? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Ali's got something. Let's go across to Ali quickly, and then I'll show you what we found.
Well, it seems like someone's being a bit of a elusive cat, but here it is, Hosana. Now, he's been crossing in and out of Little Gowrie. We think he is stalking some Impala that are not too far in the distance, so hopefully we'll be able to have a look at them, or at him, a more proper look. But like I said, he is in a bit of a tricky spot because he's in between Chitwa, Little Gowrie, and the main road. But here he is. He seemed to be looking quite fine, and like we said, he's busy stalking, so hopefully we'll be able to see some action, or maybe he'll even get up and give us a bit of a glance. Not the easiest guy to spot around this area. Hello. Good to see you. You've been naughty. He crossed from our side, and I'm sure he's been looking for food because he was missioning, and just like we saw with Tristan the other day, doing that leopard walk, going very, very low. Now the other or the Impala that we're looking at, they're not too far from where he is, but they're still further south. So if he does want to approach them, then he's going to have to take it very easy and very patiently, because they could very easily spot him. Hello, boy. Good to see you once more. I wonder what I can't see the Impala from here. Sammy Jane, you're saying your favorite leopard. He is. I think he might be one of my favorite. Oh my god, that's a very rare vulture. Do you see that vulture there? Sorry guys, like I know we're looking at Hosana, but up there we've got a white-headed vulture, which is quite rare around this area, and we don't see them all that often. That's amazing. And the only reason why we found him, or why we saw him, is because there are so many birds calling around it. How's that? That's incredible. The white-headed vulture. Another one for a list of vultures that we get around here, and I think it's my first time to see it up here in the Sabi sand. I saw it first in the south, but oh, this is such a good find as well. Sorry, I just want to grab the book so that I can show you why it's a special vulture. That is incredible, guys. And Hosana's looking in that direction as well. I think maybe also he understands just how rare this vulture can be. Very exciting times ahead. they're normally in pairs, so I wonder if perhaps the other one is not somewhere around here as well. Marisol, you say that you've never seen one. Well, this is amazing. We've got another big one to tick off our lists. And I would like to thank Hosana for bringing us here and then us being able to spot it. I think even the leopard got involved in this teamwork. But, oh, this is wonderful. And we don't get to see them all that much. Arlar Moore, you're wondering how big it is. So it's about 92 to 96 centimeters, according to the book. And it's currently classified as a vulnerable species by the red list of the IUCN. So it's also defined in the book as an uncommon resident. That's a very pretty pair of putting it. So we are looking at something that's very, very special. A leopard that led us to a vulture. Ha! That is great. I think that's been an incredible find. And look, our very good boy Hosana is still there. Hasn't moved that much. Ah, yawning, are we? I think maybe he's been walking for quite a while during the night. Maybe that's why he's a bit tired now and not wanting to approach those Impala just yet. And like we know, it's a game of patience, so it's not easy for him when he goes hunting. Now there's a bird around here that's making an alarm call, so I wonder if perhaps he's spotted Hosana or if he's actually looking at the vulture up in the tree, because they're not too far apart. Seems, however, that the bird has gone quiet. I wonder if it was a roller. It's quite an ugly call, and for such pretty birds, the rollers have some of the worst calls. It was a roller. Len, you're wondering if we've seen Shangila lately. I don't think any of us have seen her on site. I think I was the last person to see her last week, and she was looking fine. She was busy stalking squirrels. Hello, I can't believe how much this boy has grown. And so we actually haven't heard from any of the other lodges, or at least I haven't heard from the other lodges if perhaps they've seen her. But I think sometimes she's spent a bit more time around the lodge. Now, there was another sighting on Torchwood, not too far from our side, of Tingana and a female leopard. I don't know if it's perhaps her. Unfortunately, we can't go to that sighting because it's in an area that we cannot traverse with, but they're not too far from here. So who knows, perhaps it is her. I'm just going to have to wait for the guys to try an idea and let us know. Okay, you have stopped moving there, so let's try to reposition, see if perhaps we can get a bit of a view, or of a better view. There's a squirrel now that's only caught up to the fact that there's a leopard here. Oh, and look, he's moving now. You gave it away, squirrel. Don't push him. So I'm sure you guys can hear the squirrel alarming. And there he goes. Oh, no boy, don't carry on walking in that direction. Let's just see. There's the cut line there, not too far from where we are. So maybe we'll be able to pick him up there. But if he carries on walking in the direction that he is, we might not be able to keep up with him any longer, because he would have crossed into another property. I can't see him now. I'm being attacked. Can you see him now, Craig? I've lost him. I think he was walking along here. 3 o'clock, okay. Alright. Yeah. Catherine, you're saying great camouflage. It is great camouflage indeed. He's making it very hard for us to be able to keep up with him in this very thick area. And I think this is as far as we can go, and he's carried on walking. Let's see if maybe we can have another glimpse of him, but like I said, we are unfortunately in the cut line. So if he's carried on moving in that direction, then he's crossed onto an area that we can't really follow him into. And I think he has, by the looks of it. There he is. Let me just go slightly forward. I think there's an open gap here. There he is. He's carried on walking. Now who knows? Maybe his travels will bring him back onto the main road. We're not too far from the main road, so I'm hoping that maybe he's going to come back up. Ooh. This seems to be a bit of a tough one. Alright, well, I think we are unfortunately going to have to leave him, because it doesn't seem like he's going to come back this way. And like I said, we are on the cut line, so we can't really follow him anymore. But good to know that he's been around. At least we had a bit of a glimpse of the prince himself, and we know that he's doing just fine. So while we get ourselves out of here, perhaps maybe get another look, let's go over to Byron and see how his animal search is going.
Well, that's fantastic that Ellie got to see Hosana. I'm so happy. Sounds like he's in quite a thick area. Hopefully she'll get another view of him. I'm sure she will. We're just cruising around at the moment, seeing what we can find. So I had a little creature that was hitching a ride with us earlier, a little hairy caterpillar, but it scared Sebastian and almost tried to attack me, so we let him go rather. Those hairy caterpillars, they can cause such irritation on your skin if you do happen to have them sit on you. Those little hairs cause an allergic reaction, and they're not pleasant. Can give you quite a nasty rash. It's a bit difficult to try and keep a hairy caterpillar around when you're driving. Try to see if we can find some birds of prey. Like I was saying the other day, I haven't seen too many of them around at the moment. David, you were asking what animal from the Mara, from the Masai Mara, would I like to see here? Sebastian, is there an animal that you'd like to see from the Mara here? The topi? Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I've never seen a topi. Thompson's gazelle, perhaps?
No.
Thompson's gazelles, I think, are just quite cool. What else? You know what I would probably really like to see. I mean, we get them here too, but not nearly as big as those crocodiles. Those big Masai Mara crocodiles. They are huge, massive. I'd love to see those reptiles. I just find them fascinating, so prehistoric. So I think it would be the crocodiles that they get up there. I mean, we do have the same crocodile species down here. However, ours aren't necessarily as big. Well, not here. But speaking of animals from the Mara, let's head back to James Commander Bond and see what he's got in the Mara for you.
We've got an elephant for you, everybody. In amongst the migrating herds which are going bow, bow, bow. Which is their want, you know. Why shouldn't they? Just an astounding sound. Anyway, as I've said, the elephants here seem to have longer tusks than the ones in the Kruger that I've seen, but very much thinner. And I suspect that, yes, there's a genetic component to that, but I think that the fact that the tusks here seem to be so pristine indicate how much less frequently they're used for digging and for getting bark off of trees and possibly for fighting too, but I think it's largely because they're not used for feeding. The trunk is the principal feeding device in this area. Aidan, you want to know if certain elephants have different trunk lengths? Yeah, I'm sure they do. I don't think it varies very much, though. I mean, in the same way that men who are 6 feet tall will have different size hands, or different size feet. I'm sure it's exactly the same with elephants. You will find, though, a species like the human being, for some reason, and I don't know what reason this is, exhibits a far greater level of variation than just about any other species I know of. So we all look completely different from each other. You know, we have some people are very short, some people are very tall, some people are, well, quite large, and some people are skinny and look like they're emaciated, and often there's a really enormous genetic component to that, where that variation does not occur amongst many wild animals. Certainly doesn't occur amongst the elephants, nor the wildebeest, nor the zebra that we're listening to around here. So although there will be some variation in the length of the elephant's trunks, I think you will find that it's probably not very large. Alrighty, we're going to head on from here. We're quite late for where we need to be, so I'm going to drive at quite a speed. While we do that, I believe Byron has got some very rare birds indeed, and what I would like you to do is ask him to try and imitate the call. That would make my day.
James, alright, maybe I'll try and do a ground hornbill call for you. There we go. It's just the one, though, everyone, which I'm very surprised about, because you know that generally the ground hornbills are in families, family groups, and when they're moving around. And just the one adult, which is very strange. I'm trying to think of the ground hornbill call. Oh dear. How does that sound? Almost like a ground hornbill. If James could hear now, I'd probably be rolling around, either with laughter or in embarrassment. No, my ground hornbill call is not very good. I do apologize. That's a beautiful, I think that's a male, judging by that red face. Now the light is a bit tricky. The females have got, so I was lying when I said it's by itself. There's a whole group of them. Nothing like the bush, just to humble you a little bit. So we only saw the one moving this whole way, but it was obviously just trying to catch up with the rest of them. But they're sitting in the tree now. We should get a lovely view of them. Hold on a second. And just try to get this light in a better position for us. Now they've just gone back down. The ground hornbills, everyone, very, very shy birds. They do move away from the vehicles quite a lot, but wonderful to see a group. Incredibly rare and endangered birds. That's why we always get so excited when we see the ground hornbills, the southern ground hornbill. But Yeah, unfortunately, they've moved off now through that long grass looking for food. So what they do is they walk around through this long grass looking for any reptiles or insects that they can find. Oh, now speaking of rare birds and birds that we like to see, Ali's managed to find an owl that I was looking for earlier.
No, we had it! I promise you we had it! But it's flown away now. We're so sad. I just want to see if maybe it's perhaps somewhere up in the tree still. It was a tiny pearl-spotted owlet and it had been just chilling there, so we went from one spotted animal to the other. But now we can't see it anymore. No! Come back, little owl. Can't see it anymore. It seems like it's flown away. So sad. Oh well. No pearl-spotted owlet for us. Now we've come back to Gary Main because we feel like maybe Hosana, he was walking roughly parallel to the road, so we're hoping that something will make him come back up. And we're gonna go back all the way to Baboon Pan, see if perhaps he's had enough time. Maybe he wants to come back up and say hello to all of us. And I'm seeing lots of birds, scavengers flying around here, so I don't think there's anything that's dead at this point in time because I haven't seen them landing. I think it's only getting warm now for them to start circling and going up and above towards the... There we go. There's a young battalier. Craig, if you get it, you're going to be my hero. Woo! Well done. This is a young battalier eagle flying around. Like I said, I don't think there's any signs for anything that might be dead around this particular area. I think it's just more a case of the air is warming up finally after a very cold start to the morning. So all of the animals in the vulture we saw earlier on, they're all starting to catch the thermals. I'm going up. There seems to be a lot of elephant commotion. I'm sure you guys can hear the trumpeting. We can't see them because they're in Little Gary, but I wonder if Hosana has actually bumped into the elephants. Or perhaps there's another chickie bull following the females and that's what they're not happy about. I wonder. Seems like this is the block to be. Apparently all of those creatures are in here. Let's see. Let's carry on. We'll go down all the way to Baboon Pan, see if perhaps Hosana has managed to come all the way here. Maybe Shongile will be somewhere around there as well. Let me just actually find out from the guide, see if they know which female is with Tingana. Mike, Ferrelli, Mike. Mike, sorry, do you have an ID on that Mafazi Ingwe that was with Tingana? Do you have an ID on that Mafazi Ingwe that was around Tingana? Okay, copy, thanks. Right, so it seems like the female leopard that was found earlier on as well, that she's moved into the thickets and the guys didn't manage to have a clear view of who it was. Tandi, apparently. They think it was Tandi. Okay, copy, thank you very much. Alright, so apparently it was Tandi. So I think this is a very good indication that it was apparently Tandi and Tingana sharing a kill earlier on. So who knows? Maybe Tandi is starting to get a bit flirty with Tingana. Everything seems to point that way. Interesting. Alright, like I said, unfortunately those two leopards are in Torchwood, so we won't be able to have a glimpse of them. But it's interesting. I think maybe Tandi is getting ready to have her next litter. Perhaps she assumes that Tamba is old, big and strong enough to be able to start fending for himself. But he has been, I think, one of the lodges, I think he was seen around in Koro the other day, if I'm not mistaken, so we know he's still around. But interesting. Tandi has definitely been following Tingana around. At least it seems that way. Interesting theories going in my head right now about all the possible movements of the leopards. Now, Hosana came from that general area, so I wonder if perhaps he's also not picking up all these pheromones and all this scent that's up in the air that's being put out by Tandi, if she is out in heat, and maybe that's why he keeps hanging around her, because also he's been like, oh, that's I don't know. It's definitely a possibility, but I've got no proof of this. But it would explain why he's been hanging around, and he came from the same direction that they were in. Sorry, Chantal, can you repeat that question again? Tim, you say love is in the air. Very likely. Or the love of food is definitely in the air. I think that's more likely what's bringing all these creatures together. I think they seem to be bumping each other, but I don't know. This is just pure conjecture. And, mentioned a while back that Thandi was looking very flirty with Tingana and presenting herself to him. So who knows? But it could. There's also a possibility that that female there is not Thandi at all. So I think I'm just going to stop speculating about what's happening, as leopards have a funny way of proving all of us wrong. And we're back in Twin Dams. Now let's see if perhaps there's anything here that might have not been here when we came down looking for Hosana. But at least we got a little bit of a glimpse of him, and I think he's ranking quite high in my leopard list. Alright, pretty empty, the dam. Not much happening around here. Not like yesterday where we had the lions drinking. Maybe we should just conjure some lions up and be like, with a magic one, and bring the other one that was missing. Now, in terms of lions, I forgot to tell you guys, it seems like one male and all of the Nkuhumas are on Buffelshoek side, quite far east, and they are busy eating a wildebeest. So they've had a very good meal. Apparently they're all looking very happy and fat. So what is that? Is that a stump or is that a leopard now? That is a stump. I got excited there. Alright, I think maybe, Craig, what do you say? Let's go check Treehouse Dam. I feel like that could be a good area for Shongila. That would be very nice. About the bush, you're wondering which is Thandi's latest offspring and roughly how old they are. Tamba, a male, is her latest offspring. I'm not 100% sure as to how old he is, because I can't remember the month that he was born in. So if anybody remembers, let me know. My brain is not working. But I think he's about a year and just over a year old, if I'm not mistaken. A year and a few months old, I hope. Otherwise it would be quite early for Thandi to start mating. Janine, you're wondering if female leopards are more forward than males. Well, when they come in heat, definitely, because they become quite desperate, and a lot of the times the males will just be like, oh no, why another female? Because they're a bit more insistent than female lionesses, or they'll come and they'll just them like pretty much of the male leopards with their rear and with their tail, and they make all sorts of funny noises. But that is because there are so many hormones that are being pumped through their system, because they've got to find a mate. They are in heat, and then the most important thing is to get pregnant so that they can raise the next litter. So pretty much every other instinct is overridden by the sexual need that they've got for that set period of time. Now, if they fall pregnant during that mating bout, then likely the parenting behavior is going to override pretty much any other behavior in the sexual behavior, and then they will not be interested in a male in that way for at least another 1.5 to 2 years, until they manage to raise that cub, and then they start looking for a partner to raise that, or to get pregnant to then raise the next litter of cubs. So it is a bit of a funny one, but yeah, female leopards are definitely some of the funniest creatures to watch when they're looking for a potential mate. Alright, let's carry on. Seems like Byron is still looking for anything in the bush, so let's go to him.
Yeah, we are indeed. Now we've got leopard tracks in this area. Or Aubrey, also one of the other guides, he's I think they had, I don't know which leopard it was. Hold on, what's this? But I think that remember I said it sounded like this morning they had 3 leopards together. Just on Torchwood, just to the east of our boundary. And anyway, one of the leopards moved in this direction. I don't know which leopard it was. Now we're trying to see if we can find it. I didn't see the tracks now, but they headed into this block directly to my right. But it's so thick here at the moment. I'm trying to look very carefully, but I don't know if we're going to have any luck with this leopard. To be honest, if it's been moving around a lot and moving through the thick bush, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about finding this leopard. Usually I'm always very positive if I know there are leopards in the area. I just think that maybe the time frame with it moving through, I think we missed it. I don't think we will see it again, but who knows? Who knows? Riedel, you asked if the leopards interbreed, so within the family. I have seen, I think it's male leopards mating with their daughters. That has happened. I don't know about young males mating with sisters. I don't think so. Hold on. There's a squirrel alarm calling. It could just be a paranoid squirrel though. So Riedel, I think it doesn't happen often because usually the leopards disperse quite a lot. It happens more so with lions. With lions you will get interbreeding within a pride, males mating with their offspring. It does happen from time to time. It doesn't affect them though. It takes about 3 generations for it to actually affect those animals. So as long as by that stage you have new genes coming in, it doesn't affect them, and usually you do. You've got other animals challenging for territory, challenging for dominance. Oh, hang on. Now it sounds like Ali has managed to find a genet in a tree. I wonder if it's the same one. Let's go and have a look and see what the view is like.
I think it is the same one, and it was Craig that spotted it. Oh, you see it's moving in there, so let's see if maybe we want to see if maybe we can. There's a bit of, oh my god, I'm so excited, my goodness. Oh, it almost looks too big to be inside of that hole. Like if we couldn't see anything else, I would say that it was actually a leopard in there. That is incredible. I think this was such a good find on Byron's behalf, and now we know where it is. And it was actually Craig, like I said, as we were driving past, he was like, oh my god, I saw spots inside of the tree. And I am sorry for saying oh my god again. I really need to start thinking when I get excited. It's still in there and it looks so big. Anne-Marie, you're wondering if genets and squirrels coexist peacefully inside of the tree. They can. They would probably just not share the same nest. So this will be the genet's one, and he would not be sharing it with a particular squirrel, but there seems to be other holes in this tree. I think there's one higher up, so perhaps up there. So if the tree is not hollow all the way there, I wouldn't be surprised if there were actually squirrels that lived all the way up there. But this is going to be such a great exercise. Perhaps we can get this genet relaxed enough to start poking its head out. Maybe later on tonight. That would be amazing. We can almost... Wait, you're moving. I'm so confused. I don't even know where the head is. The head is above, are you sure? It would make more sense if it was above. Okay. I think this hole in here is probably quite big, and he's now rearranging itself. M. Riddle, you're wondering what genets feed on. Well, a variety of things. Oh, there you go. There's a little face. Hello, guy. They feed on a variety of things. Small fruits, small insects, little mammals, eggs. Pretty much anything they can find. They're also predators, one of the smaller nocturnal predators. Often you'll see them hunting moths, just flying insects as well. This is such a great home for this little genet. And it's proof that even when the trees die, they are so vitally important out here in the bush. I mean, look at the home it's providing for this genet. It's a great area for this genet to come and hide during the heat of the day. And I mean, its camouflage is just perfect. Look at that. Unless, I think Craig, because he's sitting higher than me, he's almost sitting at eye level with this genet, and it's incredible. Beautiful. I am so surprised. This is probably my favorite finding of the day. Just because now we know where it is, or at least now I know where it is, and we can come and check. And he can become our genet friend. Are you going to move again? It's very hard because of the light to see inside, but perhaps late at night with the infrared. Can you guys imagine? That's going to look very nice. There's a tail for sure. Ah, and there's a little face. I think he's trying to find a good spot. Perhaps the sunlight, it's actually bothering it. Hello. Look at that note. Oh, screenshot. That was incredible. Andy, you're wondering if there are any mink in South Africa. As far as I'm aware, no. We do have other species that are very likely related to it, and perhaps the genet is one of the ones that's distantly related to them. And I think genets and honey badgers are as well distantly related. Now, he seems to have retreated further into the cavity of the tree, so we're going to leave it now. I think this was an incredible sighting, and I think we owe Byron a very big thank you for this, because he was the one that actually spotted it yesterday. This is probably one of my most favorite things now about trees, or about this particular tree. That was incredible, and its tiny little face. That was precious. And the good thing is, well, we know where it is now, so hopefully we can get it habituated to the cars and to the noises that we make, because it seemed to be pretty happy with us there. He was giving us a look, and I think he went down more likely than not because the sun was bothering him, and he kept staring, just I think because the sun is coming from the direction where the cavity faces, so likely it was just feeling a bit annoyed with that. But yay, that was very nice, very, very nice. Sorry. Alright, we are then heading towards Treehouse Dam. See what is there. Anna Marie, you say it's the first time you've seen a genet in that tree hole. Well, maybe we should do like cybernetic high five, because I've only seen that genet in that hole today. I've never seen it in there before. And we do have a genet that comes to camp often. I don't think it's the same one as this one, and we call her Genevieve. The genet, of course. I think Brent was actually the one that gave her the name, and she's so curious, and she'll come. And I think once Taylor was saying that she got a little bit freaked out because she was walking somewhere, and then all of a sudden she felt something in her head, and it seems like the genet was happy enough to rest its tail on Taylor, and I don't think Taylor was too convinced about how she felt about it. But it often comes, and I think we saw it a few days ago for the first time in a while, so I was very happy to see that she was still around. And of course we don't feed it, we don't pet it, but it's good because she's quite used to the humans, so she'll come to the camp and start feeding on the insects and all the little things. Seems like Byron has been up to all sorts of things between bundu bashing and tracking, so let's go over to him and find out what he's been up to.
Yeah, trying to find a leopard, Ali, and it's not going well for us. We haven't had any luck. So we heard squirrels alarm calling in the bush here, so I just came to investigate, but no sign. I walked through there briefly, no sign of a leopard, so I'm not sure. Aubrey for Byron. I just want to try to get hold of Aubrey and find out if he's got any sign of the leopard that he saw the tracks of. Info, have you had any more luck your side?
Oh no.
Yeah. Copy that, thank you very much. I can't believe it.
Oh man.
Everyone. We've become temporarily disabled. It looks like that steering rod again. Were we on the same? We were on Rusty last time that happened, wasn't it? So it looks like the steering rod has bent somehow again. I don't know how, but
Where's your tire looking?
that way. Where's that one looking?
That way.
All right. Well, Ali hasn't had car trouble. Maybe you should go and see how her search is going from that genet that she had.
Alright, well, I'm a bit concerned, but I'm sure that if Byron needs help, somebody will be able to help him out. Tristan is out and about, and of course we are here. Maybe I can be... Byron will be the damsel in distress, and I can be Prince Charming coming to the rescue. I don't know how Biceps Byron will feel about that. But oh well. I'm sure he'll be fine, and if help is needed, then we're always here to help him out. Now, we've gone past Treehouse Dam, not too much that was lurking around there, so we think maybe we're gonna head onto that new road, Mendoza, and just this general area. Perhaps Shadow will be around. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky with her. I know yesterday morning we were looking for her all along, so why not reach for the moon and hope for more spots? We've had a leopard, a pearl-spotted owlet, and a genet. So I don't know what other spotted thing we could hope for, actually. Well, more leopard spots, of course. Maybe lion spots. Oh, now this time of the year is quite terrible for eyes because there's a lot of dust flying around, and I feel like I might even have a tiny little pebble in my eye. I think I'll live, but I might just have to scratch my eye quite a lot in the next few moments. Now, not too much that seems to have been walking around here, and I wonder where the buffalo have gone off to, because I know there were a few at Gowrie Dam a while ago, and by a while ago I mean maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, whoopsie, and we haven't seen them since. Perhaps the fact that the lions have been around, that's been a bit scary for them, and they moved off somewhere else. Alright. Shadow, little come, be up a termite mound and let us find you. Why not? Oh, hello Impala. Have you seen a leopard? No? Suppose you're lucky then. Ah, look! It's a half-horn Impala. There we go. This is a good old friend, and we assume that maybe he is part of a... Hey. It's the wind. You see, the wind started blowing, and they did not like it. Alright guys, bye, I suppose. So yeah, like I was saying, we assume that maybe that horn was lost while he was busy fighting during the rutting season, because sometimes when they clash horns against one another, or where they start chasing one another, often you'll see an impala missing half a horn, and then one that has half a horn stuck in its side. Now they're all a bit jumpy. I think it's more the wind than anything else. But we're gonna carry on. Seems like James has managed to find some warthogs once more, so let's go over to him and have a look at them.
Well, yes, sort of some warties, everybody. There is somebody who didn't make it back to the southern plains of Tanzania to breed again. But beyond that, some warties, yes. A large herd of warties, not very large, a large sounder of warties, and they are standing in an area that is very much denuded of grass. And I think that is, well, largely on account of cattle. Have been animals in this area the whole season. Now we're quite far towards the northern boundary of the reserve, and so that's why, and you know, boundary is a very strong term in this area, so that's why you will have cattle in here from time to time in amongst the wildlife. And so I don't think that the big herds that are south of us now are going to come up here, and I quite like that because I think they're going to head further to the west towards the triangle and the big crossing points where we have certainly got a much greater presence than we do up here. We're not too far out of the Talek village, probably village also is quite a strong word to describe Talek, and we are heading there. I think we'll probably be there at about 10:30. Which is what we need to be. We're going well beyond that towards school, as I said earlier, to do a bit of filming. In the meantime, we are passing by wildlife that really doesn't care about what it is that we've set out to do. Then we had a question earlier about whether or not ostrich could swim and cross the river. And now, Justin, you say, can a warthog swim? I don't know that they're going to be very good swimmers. I had a dog once who looked bit like a warthog, and he used to sink like a stone. They certainly don't cross the river as a matter of course, but I think you'll find that being the size and density that they are, they would probably struggle to swim.
Sorry guys, seems like the gremlins have moved off to the Mara now, and I wonder if maybe they broke Byron's car and then they're trying to get to James. I'm sure the boys will be just fine. Now we are driving on the fire break, heading towards the area where Shadow likes spending time in. Now, there are lots of vultures flying above us, but I don't think there's, like I said, I don't think there's anything that's actually dead around here. I just think that they're all going up because it is that time of the day when the air is finally warming up, and we just see them going in circles and circles. Now, they're quite heavy birds, so they save energy just pretty much like surfers, just by riding the waves of hot air, and then they go all the way up, and if they see something, then you'll see that they'll all start dropping and going somewhere else. And I think we got lucky with that wide-headed vulture this morning. That was definitely a very cool find. Seems like it's been the morning of the little things. It's been good. Now, lots of vultures. Guys, like, either go up or come down. You're confusing me now. I think going up is the way that they're going. I'm doing a bit of a dance in the skies. Maybe let me just see if we can find an open gap and show them. I think that's probably the best way to try and see them. Now, the visual is, of course, not the best one. We just see little shapes flying in the sky. And there we go. Well done for finding them, Kate. It's like finding a little peanut flying up in the sky. So you see, they're all gliding, and you don't see much flapping of the wings. They're all riding the wave. Now, judging by the looks of it, they seem to be wide-backed vultures mostly, the ones that are flying away, and there were some that seem to be riding another wave and have now migrated into this particular thermal, this hot current of air that's going all the way up into the sky. So often this is how a vulture day will start. They'll start going around in circles, and then the circle is going to take them higher and higher, and once they high up, then they start looking for food. And they've got amazing eyesight, so if they do manage to find something, or they spot something that they think might be a kill, maybe if they even find lions, they'll start dropping and coming down to the ground. Justin, you're wondering if vultures get dizzy constantly flying in circles. Who knows? Maybe that's a recessive gene for vultures. We can make a whole movie out of it. I think that would be fantastic. As far as I know, no, they do it all the time, and they're not turning on themselves or on their own acts like we would do when you get really dizzy. So suppose it's the vulture wave. You either learn how to go around in circles, or perhaps you won't find any food. But they are definitely going up, and then they're being pushed away further and further away from where we are. Snazzy, you're saying that is a lot of vultures. Well, it is, but there's another thermal that we passed earlier on that seemed to have probably double as much as this one. So lots of vulture in the area, which is good. Vultures are one of the best things that we can have out in the environment, because they are pretty much tasked with keeping everything disease free and clean, and making sure all the carcasses are properly disposed. Now, they are not the prettiest of birds, but they are probably some of the most important ones we get in this environment. Like we were saying earlier on, great visual, great eyesight, not visual, and that's often one of the reasons why they are unfortunately sought after some of the witch doctors, because their eyes are believed to be able to predict the future. So a lot of the times this is the reason why these vultures are hunted down by us humans, of course. Beautiful. Huh, we can't even see them anymore. Right, well, that was nice, seeing what the vultures are getting up to. So let's carry on our way, see if maybe beautiful shadow cub or pretty much anything else is going to be on this road. Maybe, oh, I can't even see the vultures anymore. They're all flown away into the distance, or into the sky. Can't really see any one of them anymore. Now, I'm looking into both sides of the road just in case. It seems like Byron is going to give us a tip of the day. I wonder if it's anything related to how to drive. So let's go find out.
Tip of the day: stay calm in tense situations. That's my tip of the day, I think. So yeah, the steering rod bent again on Rusty. It's the second time it's happened to me this last month. I don't know what the reason is. I have no idea why. And we weren't even off road. We just came down the hill on Central Road. So I don't know what the issue is. Unfortunately, we are stuck. We can't go anywhere, so we have to wait. I was hoping, it would be great if a leopard came and walked past us, but alas, nothing. No alarm calls or anything, so we've resorted to coffee. And hoping that someone comes and helps us soon. We'll have to wait for Opa, a trusty mechanic, just to bring the tools. It's not a big job to change the steering rod. It's just more of the inconvenience than anything else. But it happens out in the bush, apparently. Yeah, more than anywhere. And I don't know. It's the first time that this has happened to me, that I've bent steering rods like this. So I'm not sure. There's obviously a reinforcement issue with this one. Anyway. Aaron, you asked what my most terrifying experience in the bush is, or was. Aaron, I think the closest encounter I've had, or the closest in in a situation where I thought this is possibly going to be it. And I've told this story before, so some of you may have heard it, but there was an elephant in camp once, and we were trying to get it out, but we weren't really chasing it. We were following to see where it was going, and as it was going or getting to the entrance road or whatever, we're going to try and make a noise and get it to go out. But this elephant caught two of us basically out the side of his eye. Saw that we were moving a bit too close to him, and he had already been quite upset because he'd seen a lot of people around, and this elephant turned and charged, and he stopped. I think, let me trying to think how far he stopped. So this elephant charged, and basically what you do with an elephant, if it is charging, ideally you want to stand your ground. Like with most animals, don't run. And this elephant charged and kept coming, so stood our ground, or I stood my ground, my friend ran. He wasn't taking a chance, and I shouted, "Hey, clap your hands, try and make a noise." Often they'll stop, they get startled and they move. And he kept coming and didn't stop. I shouted again, "Hey!" And then he kept coming. So I thought, well, now I better run. And I turned to run, but I was on uneven ground. And watching the elephant, I didn't see where I stepped, and I fell over. And I landed on the ground about here. Let's say here, flat on my back. And the elephant stopped over here where this bush is, and there was dust and trumpeting, and I was lying down looking up at this elephant, but luckily he stopped and he decided he didn't want to hurt me, and he turned and moved off and ran out of camp. But that was quite an experience, quite a little scare that I had, but fortunately I've been lucky and careful. I think it's not just luck, I think it's being careful and respectful of the animals. I haven't had too many serious encounters. Tracked many lion, many leopard, viewed elephant and rhino and buffalo on foot many times. That situation, again, you see, we were basically pushing the elephant, trying to get it out of camp. We hadn't made a noise yet, but he was agitated because there'd been people around already, and that's why he chose to charge. So it wasn't his fault at all. It was purely, our fault for basically trying to get this elephant out. But thankfully, he decided not to hurt me. So that was, but that's the closest encounter I've had. In terms of a scary encounter, I've viewed other animals on foot very close by, but never felt threatened in any way. But that elephant, it was a different experience, but a great experience nonetheless, and you learn from it. So just scanning around. Daniel, you're 13. Hello, Daniel. You asked how many guides are there. Daniel, do you mean just on Safari Live, or around Africa, or Southern Africa, or South Africa? So I think, Daniel, within Safari Live, there's okay, let's count the guides. James, Brent, Jamie, Stefan, Tristan, Ali, Taylor, and myself. That's 8. Is that right? Have I missed anyone? I hope I haven't missed. Scott's been guiding a bit up in the Mara now too with everyone. So Scott, that's 9. So 9 of us at the moment, 9 guides. 9 here. But within South Africa, I think there's probably over 1,000 guides within South Africa, I think, somewhere around there. A lot of game reserves, a lot of lodges. There's probably actually more. There's more than that, I would say. Maybe close to 2,000 guides, active guides. Some guides have their qualifications but may not necessarily be guiding anymore. So yeah. Scanning around to see if perhaps there's some interesting birds we can show you while we are sitting waiting for help. Nothing at the moment that I can see. I had heard some parrots flying over earlier. It's always nice to see the brown-headed parrots. Nice little cool breeze. The temperature, I thought it would be much warmer already, but it's not actually. There's a cool breeze. But and luckily we're stuck in a beautiful area down in this dry riverbed, so the vegetation is quite green and lovely. But luckily Ali is still driving around. Let's go see if she's had any more luck finding animals.
Well, not too much luck around this road, Byron. We were trying to maybe see if Shadow had popped around, but doesn't seem like we've had such luck. Not tracks, not animals, nothing around this road. So, well, we're gonna try to get off of it as soon as we can, and then we'll try a completely different area. I think so far all the good things have come when we've least expected them. Now, it would be pretty nice to see Shadow and her cub. I won't lie, because we haven't seen them for a while. Maybe Shongile around this area too. That would be even better, because I know everyone's been dying to see her and just find out how she is. Whoop. Alright. And I wonder, like I said earlier this morning, also one of the guys called in tracks for a female leopard going into Buffelshoek. So I wonder if perhaps that couldn't even be Shongile. Maybe she is just exploring new areas, because there could be added pressure here, seeing that Tundi and Shadow have been spending some time in the property. So maybe she's gonna choose another spot of her mother's territory to settle in. Wouldn't surprise me. She is a very clever little girl, Shongile. Eugene, you're wondering if I can find a giraffe. Well, I can certainly try to find a giraffe. They seem to be a bit elusive as of late. I think we only saw one a few days ago. But, of course, let's also keep an eye out open for giraffe and zebras and buffalo. And, of course, well, Craig, where's our pangolin? We were looking for it this morning, but I don't think we had any luck. I think maybe we should come into this road on a very, very cold morning, because there are so many termite mounds here that maybe we'll get lucky with one walking somewhere around here. Now, there's a nice big open area coming up, so who knows, maybe we'll have a giraffe all the way in there. Holly, you say jackals would be nice. I agree, jackals would be very nice, and I think yesterday was the first time in quite a while that we had sightings of jackals, and exciting to know that they're still in here, because like I said, when we used to come visit Brent and Jamie, when we used to work at another lodge here, before they went to the Mara, of course, maybe about a year ago, every time we drove into the main road and we had access to go see them, we'd always find a pair of jackals there. And then we started working here, and it seems like the jackals have perhaps shifted and gone somewhere else, but I was so excited to see that tiny little jackal as well, jumping roughly where the lions were, and I know Taylor had a wonderful sighting afterwards. So, fingers crossed, there will be some jackals as well. Let's head onto that big open area where I used to see the jackals. Maybe they'll be there. Snazzy, you're wondering how early we get to prepare for the live drives. Well, we are lucky now in the winter time that we get to wake up late. So until the time changes or we shift to the summertime, we're waking up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning, and then we are ready to go at 6, because the show starts at 6:30 our time. And then I think in the summer it starts a lot earlier. I think we have to be on the vehicles at 4:30 if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done any drives during the summer here, but I vaguely remember Jamie and Brent and Taylor mentioning that was the time when they used to get up. So it is very early in the summertime, because the sun rises very early, around about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So you want to be up at the same time as the animals just to be able to catch them moving. So we always laugh. The life of a guide is pretty much ruled by the sun. That's why I like to think that I'm a chicken sometimes, up with the sun and down with the sun. So in the summertime, the day is much longer. You get to rest a lot more during the day. And in the winter, you get to rest a lot more during the evening, because the nights are longer. Alright, now this is that area, roughly, not too much, where we could maybe find those jackals. or a giraffe. But seems like nobody's home. There used to be also so many wildebeest that used to hang around here, but clearly now that the pressure of winter has settled in, the grass is drier, the water sources are drying up, then animals have to move. Perhaps in the summertime then they will come back into these areas where they don't have to look so much for food and water. So it's a bit windy around here, so I wonder if perhaps that's why some of the birds are not here. Seems like Byron is still stuck, so let's go over to him and find out how he's doing. Maybe he's had some coffee to enjoy his peaceful stuckness.
Well, it is peaceful and it is pleasant sitting out here. It's a bit annoying, though, being stuck, not being able to drive the vehicle around, but there are worse places to be stuck, I suppose. Actually, just lost my... That didn't work very well, sorry, I lost the... I'm unplugged there for a while, so the voices in my head can't get to me. It is actually getting quite warm now, though, which is great. But... What a morning. It was a bit frustrating for us this morning. I suppose we can't always have all the luck. It happens from time to time. Now, pause. You were asking if any animals come into our camp. So the animal that comes into camp the most often is actually hyena. We regularly have hyena tracks in camp, and they move through at night. And the reason for that is they come and look for the dustbins, unfortunately, because the smell of the dustbin then that attracts the hyena. We do get genets in camp. We get bush babies around the camp. What else? I mean, I've followed once or twice before on Safari Live. We've had leopards walking near the camp and lions. In fact, we followed the lions once and walked right behind the camp during the morning. So the animals do walk close from time to time. And we've had leopard tracks in that outside the camp many times before. But actually coming into camp, hyena would be one that comes in quite often. I know Taylor is the hyena chasing expert. She apparently has seen one or two of the men in camp have a look at the hyena and quickly hide in their rooms, and she's had to run out and chase the hyena. So so Taylor knows all about that. I'm trying to think, that's about it. And then occasionally the odd snake here and there we've seen, but mainly in summer, not really now. Scorpions always around that we've got to be careful of. But so there are animals that come into camp. We always have to be aware, have to be alert and careful. Again, we are in their territory, so they can move around where they please. Anyway, a nice morning nonetheless. We had a great morning. We heard the lions, just couldn't find them, unfortunately, south of our boundary. Luckily, Ali had luck with the leopard. Maybe those other leopards that were found on Torchwood head this way this afternoon, or the lions, if we're lucky. But it's been a great morning. Thank you, as always, to Ali and Craig on the other vehicle, the ladies in final control, Sebastian with me on camera, and of course to all of you for your questions and comments this morning. Hope you enjoyed the sunrise safari with us. Of course, thank you to James in the Mara. It's always nice having James with us. We'll see you this afternoon for the sunset safari. Goodbye, everybody. Hopefully I get unstuck.